time for word challenge number 1. Before we do the word challenge, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to potentially use the spelling rule flashcards. This is an example of the back of a flashcard, and there's some words on this, so we could practice reading them, center, circus. However, which rule is this? C always softens to S when followed by an E, I, or Y. Otherwise, C says K. All right? Here's another one. When you look at these words, which rule do you think this is? I hear someone whispering. G may soften to J when followed by an E, I, or Y. Otherwise, G says G. All right, here's another example. Which rule do you think this one might be? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Well, what about I and Y? What did we say? A, E, O, U. So what about I and Y? Why don't we look at these words? We have lion and clinic, title and visit, try and bicycle. What do you notice? I and Y, which sounds do they say at the end of the syllable? It and I. Well, that's interesting. Could one of you come up with a rule? How might you word that if you knew that? Go ahead, take a stab at it.
I may say it or I at the end of the syllable.
Well, there you go. I and Y may say it or I at the end of the syllable. But do you see how, given a list of words, students can actually figure out what the rules are pretty close, and it helps them to remember those patterns. Now, if you're looking at thousands and thousands of words and they haven't been sorted in a way that helps you do this, then it's impossible to figure out those rules. That's why most of us haven't figured it out. But given kind of a controlled experiment, they can. What are 3 reasons for a silent E you've learned so far? What's the most common one? 50% of English words. The vowel says its long sound because of the E. Let's say it together. The vowel says its long sound because of the E. What do you think's the next most common one? It's back from yesterday. Yeah, English words do not end in V or U. What's the third one we learned? The C says and the G says J because of the E. Let's say it together. The C says and the G says J because of the E. All right, so just a quick review of spelling rules. And now we're going to look at some words from a list of America's most misspelled words that was part of Google's trends in 2017. People, by the way, I don't know if you've discovered this, but Google's one of the best spell checkers ever to look up how to spell word. And so in 2017, these were the top searches for how to spell by state. Yeah, Wisconsin's not sure how to spell their state. All right. Well, let's look at the word quote. So this is in one of the states. I think it's in Idaho. Why might someone be misspelling quote? Just take a guess. What do you think is? They're probably missing the U. That's what I'm thinking. Because Q always needs a U. It's a multi-letter phonogram. And most of us weren't taught that, right? So that's probably what's going on. That's my best guess. How about 12? 12 was in New Jersey. What might you guess be the issue with 12? Probably the silent E at the end, something there. I'm not sure, but yeah, in one state, in New Jersey, this was the most frequently Googled word, how to spell 12. How about chaos? Chaos is from Tennessee. Yeah, probably that CH. And maybe those 2 vowels next to each other too, right? Because where is the syllable breaking in chaos? After the A, chaos. It's really clear now, isn't it, how it's spelled and why? Okay, who can find the spelling typo on this? What's wrong with it? There you go. We found that at a store.